What's going on, everybody? Evan Centopani here. You're watching IFBB AMA. Get cozy, because we've got kind of a large subject here to tackle. And before we do that, let me just say, I am not an expert on any one of these topics, but I'm here to present a viewpoint that I think might be helpful. Right, so depending on when you see this, Donald Trump might already be president of the United States. One of the things I was asked to comment on is his appointment of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And let me just say, also, disclosure, I've got my own political beliefs, right? And I'm gonna do my absolute best to keep those out of this discussion, right? Because looking at things in a biased fashion simply because maybe you like a person or you support a person doesn't do you any good in the long run. So regardless of how I feel about maybe any one of these individuals here, I'm gonna do my best to speak what I feel is rational, what is sense. Robert F. Kennedy has run on a few things, right? He's kind of known as, the guy who's not in support of the medical establishment, big pharma. He's, he actually looks great for his age. He's an advocate of self-care, bodybuilding, and doing everything you can to eat well and essentially maintain your health. And based on some of the pretty direct remarks he's made toward the FDA, he's really not a fan, right? Preserve your records and pack your bags, he has told them. Because the war, or something about the war, or the assault on America's health is over, something to that effect, right? So he's essentially accusing the FDA of not doing the job that they've been tasked with, right? Keeping the American people safe, properly vetting the, whether it's food ingredients or pharmaceuticals that they've approved, that essentially they haven't done a very good job. Two of the main things he's spoken about pretty passionately are vaccines. And on the topic of vaccines, I'm kind of left with the impression that he's fairly anti-vax. Now, I don't know if that's the case or not, right? Or maybe it was just in response to the COVID vaccination. But I figured, vaccine talk, maybe that's a good subject for this video, as well as food ingredients, right? And you saw recently that one of the red dyes was canceled by the FDA. Wonderful timing with RFK coming in. Coincidence? I don't know. But anyways, I say, hey, good. Whatever the reason was for it, we don't need any extra chemicals in our diet. We definitely get enough of them. And if you're watching this and you're in the same boat as me, we get plenty of chemicals. We probably don't need any extra ones. So when it comes to vaccines, I thought to myself, But in 1948, the chart I found with the most rigorous vaccine schedule had 16 doses. So there were four different vaccines in total, of which, to be fully vaccinated, 16 doses were administered to the child by the time that he or her was 6 years old. 2019, I'm just telling you what I know, okay? I've got my daughter's book right here. There were 10 different vaccines administered and 27 doses in total to administer those vaccines, and that was received by 18 months. If you asked anybody on the street, hey, do you think the government's corrupt? That 11 out of 10 people are gonna say, yeah, I do. I mean, look, how did the food guide pyramid make its way into every public school system curriculum nationwide for decades? I mean, that's the government's doing, correct? I mean, talk about fucking bad advice. Let's hope we see some good change, because let's be honest, let's consider the bottom line in this country. If you look at things over the course of the last 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, are people in better health now than they were several decades ago? No. Is obesity higher or lower? It's higher. Is depression higher or lower? It's higher. All these antidepressants, are they prescribed at a greater rate than in the past? Yes. So I guess what I'm saying is the present approach is not working. So something has to change somewhere. Let's hope he's the guy to do it. My fingers are crossed. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon.